There we go. Make sure I got everything I need here. Okay. No one is actually watching. Um, but here we are. And why do I have nothing up there? Ah, there it is. Okay. So no one's watching, but who knows? Maybe someone will click this. Yeah, we're doing a little pre-show here. It's a half hour before the official show starts. And as you can see, I got a little arcade game up on the side of the screen here. And yeah, as you know, this is the pre-show for
Insert title here.
and Brian Blues and I have been doing these like video game challenges or something. I don't know, something I've been trying to bring into the show, and I don't know if it's working or not, but we're working on it, and we'll see how Brian's week went because we asked Brian to yeah, let me get my levels where I want them. But we asked Brian to play a game of Portal, which required actually buying Portal, which also required buying a system that play Portal. Uh, but we're going to talk about that when the show starts. But Brian, scrambling for ideas, was like, well, you can play some Kicks. And we've talked about Kicks. In the past, I've played a lot of Kicks on the Commodore 64 version. I bought a Game Boy cart for it. And, I really like the Commodore 64 version because it's very colorful. Um, but I think there's more of a challenge to the original arcade version here. I've been practicing a little bit, and I'm not that good at this. And so far, I've only been able to get to the third level, and the third level is where you have two kicks floating around inside of there, and you could win the level if you split them apart. You win the level by claiming 75% of the board. If you have two kicks, you can win the level by splitting them apart, I believe. And but in the Commodore 64 version, you don't ever get that. Um, you every level just has one kicks. Um, so I'm going to play the arcade version, and I've gotten up to the third level. I've not beaten the third level because it's very hard. They only give you three guys, and it's not very easy to clear a level without dying once because that thing is flying all over the place. And you got the sparkly things going around, and you can't even hide behind the things you draw. In other versions of this game I've played, you draw something, you kind of hide behind it, which gives you options to avoid the sparkly things going around the border. So there's no avoiding them. And so at some point, you have to depart into the vulnerable world of Kicksland there. And the timing can really work against you. Um, Generally, I've been going with the strategy of not using the slow button, using only the fast button, and generally I kind of go up and try to. Oh, that's the slow button. Yeah, I've been just like, let's see how far I can get. Who cares about high score? I'm not beating anyone's record. You see things look safe there. Corners are good because you got an easy, quick escape. That thing's way far away from me. I'm kind of safe right now, but I gotta avoid that sparkler there. And so that's kind of my strategy. Now I'm in that thing is just right there, and I got a sparkler coming on either side, and I gotta come up with something. Let's get that corner. There we go. Now let's make my just kind of cut across there. If I start getting a lot of these around, then I can start, like, cutting across to them. So that helps me. And if you take too long, they start throwing more of those things at you, which provides a challenge. Oh, see that? I did not want to do that. But, yeah, I tend to die at least once a level. So getting to a third level has been tricky for me. But I'm closing in on this one. Ah! See? 2, and then you do 2 on one level, you have no chance of getting anywhere. That thing is just, really wild sometimes. Oof, that was close. Okay. All right. So that's we've cleared a board now. So let's see if we can clear the second board, because I've already died twice. So I think I can only die one more. I think this is it. I think this is my last guy here. And that thing's being real wild. I mean, you see, sometimes it moves fast, so you could think you're safe, and it could all of a sudden zap right into your way, which is rather unfair. That you could try to strategize and try to be careful, and then the thing could suddenly just wreck you without any warning. And now I got more things floating around. I'm going to try to move between my different things I've built up here. Ah! I got cornered there. And that much of an option. Alright, let's try another game here. And see how far we can get. See, now I'm getting cornered, and that thing is just following me. See, that right there, I want to restart the game. They should give you a reset button. Because there's some games where it's like, I just died right off the bat. I'm wasting my time here because I haven't even done anything. I might as well just kill this other guy. Come on, kill me. Kill me now. Thank you. So yeah, this game, simple. And maybe if I get some type of strategy going, I could get better at it. I don't know, but right now I'm kind of I'm getting cornered. There we go. Safe for now. Try to get away from this thing. And dodge that. Alright, we're gonna need to... Yeah. Ooh, that was close. Okay, now it's hanging out right where I am. Ah, it doesn't make it in time. I was gonna... Yeah, I might as well just die now, because here I am on the first level with only one guy here. So, yeah, fuck this. See if I can at least get to the second level, only dying once. Okay, this thing's following me annoyingly. Oh, great, they threw an extra thing at me. So that's one thing. In the Commodore 64 version, you run out of time, you get a game over. That's it. And that's kind of annoying that you could just... your game could just disappear in a moment. Oh, dear. Okay, good. You got out of my corner there. Okay, not sure what that means. Oof. They surrounded me there. Oh, this thing won't... Hey, I need to escape somewhere. Ugh. I hit the down button. All right. We finally cleared a level. Of course, now I've got no lives, and this thing is flying around like a fly on crack cocaine. Hey, make up your mind which way you're gonna go. Oh, come on! I had that! No, that was no. What the hell? You fucking closed me in right there. I was pushing the damn button. Okay, this game fucking cheats. Fuck you. Alright, let's see if I actually, clear a board without this game cheating. Oh, stop following me! Yeah, I'm not digging this game. There seems to be no way to get any kind of strategy going. Because the thing just, flies around. The game just trapped. There's no way to get ahead of it. Alright, that was good. That was good. But now I'm getting cornered here. Oh, come on! That was such a cheap shot. Alright, I was actually clearing the first level when I was... I should have just broadcasted my practice runs, because I did much better than these runs have been going. That was not bad. I'm getting trapped here. Oh, come on! You were going that way! You can't turn around! Give me some kind of predictability. Ugh. No, I was good. I had that. I did not push up at that point. This fucking game cheats. God, just when I had a good level, the fucking game cheats. Moves in a direction I did not push the gamepad. Completely throws off my momentum I had. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for throwing me in fucking level 2 with no guys. Yeah, that's going to do me a world of good. Hey, can you fly around a little quicker? You don't... Fucking cornered me. Could you decide which way you're going, you stupid thing? No, that's this game fucking cheats. It just threw them down there out of nowhere while I'm there. No, come on. No, look at that line's touching that line. I made that. I do not like this game. All right, I actually got through level 1 without dying. Now let's see if I can make it to level 3 this time. Let's see if I can at least make it to level 3. Okay, that was nice. Oh, come on! You were over there. What do you? This thing is really annoying. It always it's like just do something that I can actually make a move. This game starts out way too hard. You need more lives, and that thing needs to like start a little slower on the levels and work up. There's nowhere for this game to work up to because you can't even get past the first fucking 3 levels. Once again, can't even get past the first fucking level with enough lives to do anything in this game.
Cool.
Okay, so now my webcam is failing on me at times. I don't get what the hell's up with that.
Am I logged in or am I just audio?
Okay. Oh, it looks like I need to turn that sound on.
Which one is that?
Oh, I see. You don't have webcam. You're there, and I hear you.
Oh.
And your lack of webcam is distracting me. That's why I keep dying.
Oh.
You got a camera with a line through it is what you got.
Yeah, I got that too. And then you go into settings and it says integrated camera.
Huh. Yeah, the
Now,
Hangouts
I
sucks
noticed
a
when it
bit.
came on, it said, hey, you're not... piece of shit. You're not in the... insert title here is not in your circles. It's like, what the fuck is that? That's new.
Oh, Google wants people to actually use what's that called? Google Plus.
Yeah, Google Plus crap, yeah.
Yeah, it's so they're trying to, get you to actually use Google Plus features, which no one fucking wants to use.
I mean, there was the rumor that they were going to drop the Hangouts from Google Plus and maybe make it a YouTube thing.
Well, that has already happened. It's funny. It's still they have. You could do standard Hangouts from Google Plus, but Hangouts over the air, you have to initiate from YouTube, even though it still acts like a Hangout and is still part of Google. It's kind of
okay. So I go into Google Plus and here's insert title here.
and
I'm following it, but I guess I'm not in your fucking circle.
I don't know. I don't care about circles. I thought if you add it, that means you're in the circle. But yeah, you still got no camera.
All right, let me look at the stupid circles and see if.
Well, no, the circles should have nothing to do with the webcam.
Yeah, but that's what it said. So let me see if I can make us.
But we're doing the same thing we've done every fucking week for months now.
Of
Why
course,
now?
but you
all of a
leave
sudden-
leave Google to fuck it up, right?
So Google will let you join the Hangout, but won't let
Oh, wait
you
a second.
show
Oh.
camera. Oh, now you got an icon.
Right. Oh, that's bizarre.
Yeah. You know, that's a one thing though is I've been using Hangouts to talk to Emily instead of Skype because for years we were having issues where Skype would suck, and you know my bandwidth's fine, her bandwidth's fine, and it would act as if someone had low bandwidth, and so you know, and Emily's had issues with her internet, so usually it was a case of okay, Emily, tell Andrew to stop, you know, downloading torrents or
The little light next to my camera went on,
okay, all right,
but it still says it's dead. Oh, look at me!
I've had
that's a
issues. I've had issues lately with the Hangouts where I join them and it doesn't work with my camera, and I have to close it and rejoin it to get the camera to work. So let's give that a try.
Yeah. Hanging up, buddy.
All right. And while he hangs up, that was close because this stupid thing sometimes doesn't register the button presses right. I don't want to be in that corner. All right. That's starting to look. Oh, and it still says no camera.
That is so bizarre. And the little light on my camera is on.
Huh. Well, if you go into the settings, is your camera selected?
Yeah, it says integrated. Let me double check it again. Yeah, integrated camera. Yep.
Okay, because I've had it
All
sometimes where I selected, and then when I go back in, it's selected something else. Like it's decided that you know you don't really want to select that, so we're just gonna pretend like you didn't.
Yeah. And let me do.
Well, if you actually go the direction I'm pushing the fucking buttons. All right, once again, level 2 with no men, and that thing's flying around like fucking crazy. Well, the show should be starting soon if Brian can get his camera working. All right, I see his icon, which is what I normally see when he first joins. And I see his lack of camera. I don't even have sound. All right, I'm playing one more of these while that gets sorted out. Oh. Well, if you wouldn't throw those sparklers right over there, you wouldn't.
What?
This
Oh, you were
fuck-
talking to the game?
Yeah, I fucking hate kicks.
So I'm filing back, right? I take it you couldn't hear me for a while?
Yeah.
I was in the middle of talking. I pulled the USB stub because I wanted to say insert my other camera,
Uh huh.
which of course meaning my integrated camera still doesn't work. So let's try switching to that one.
Okay.
Woohoo.
All right. Oh, that is working. That is working.
Yeah, you like the screensaver thinger on my
Well, I'm
other
I'm
notebook?
actually got my eyes on the game right now, but
Yeah.
I will,
Yeah, that's a good idea. You know, because this game doesn't give you a lot of leeway. Yeah.
you know what I've decided this game reminds me of? You know how you go to every effort, you know, to have, you know, the screens on the window and the edges taped up, but you always get a fly in your house, and it's not just any fly. It's a type of fly that has somehow found its way into a stash of someone's crack cocaine, and the thing is just going ever. I mean, the thing will never land. It is just constantly in the air,
And it's bugging you. Whoa!
and it goes this way, and it goes that way, and it goes that way, and it goes this way, and it's flying over here. I'm going to keep my eyes on you and watch you land. And after you watch it do like 5 or 6 laps, it disappears. You can't see it, and you look everywhere. You look everywhere. You can't see it. You go. You sit down. You try to watch TV. All of a sudden, the thing comes right in front of you and starts doing circles in the room between you and the TV. And there's no way
It's
you
there
can
to
focus on
bug
the
you, right?
right. And
Totally.
and if you get up to try to kill it or shoo it away, it will. It is just unfrickin' believable how all over the fucking place the damn thing is. And,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
and you know that this is what Kicks is reminding me of.
Right.
And I don't think a game that reminds you of a really annoying fly that's on crack cocaine is a fun experience. I used to like this on the Commodore 64. I'm not liking the arcade version. This I can't. My practice rounds before I went live went better than the actual playing it live. I did not get to level 3 once in my live playing. My practice rounds, I got to level 3 twice. So I really should just stream the practice rounds.
Right. Did you record the practice rounds?
No. There were just a few practice rounds. I figured I would do practice rounds and then I would do the real thing, and I do at least as good as I did on the practice rounds.
You got a nice big block that was barred off.
Oh no, that's the demo. I'm not playing now. I am done. Okay. I am done with this. I'm so over it.
Okay.
So yeah, you got your screensaver.
So I found settings on the Raspberry Pi, which is a Linux thing, to make some adjustments, default adjustments to the monitor. Okay. It's in a file called config.txt, and it's in the /boot folder. In fact, all these settings are in there, but they're commented out. So you can say, hey, go to 1080p. Of course, you need to Google and to what those settings all mean. So this one, oh, okay, yeah. So mode 6, comma 12, whatever, magic numbers
Okay.
is 1080p. So you set that, and then there's another one that is a boost number. So HDMI boost. Okay. And that one will, I guess it's a power level or whatever. At this point, I've made it better, but it's still not perfect. At least you can kind of play in the game. Of course, with kicks, if you're blinked off for a half a second, you could be dead.
So you got a bad monitor.
Well, it's a monitor that doesn't work with this that well. My other step would be to change monitors since I only have a couple, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, you could change monitors. Right. Now, here's what I find amusing. For those that we've just connected to the streams because we were working out Brian's webcam issues, and I was playing kicks, which I've decided reminds me of trying to kill a fly that's on crack cocaine.
Nobody saw how wonderful you were on kicks.
No. People on the YouTube stream saw how wonderful I was on kicks, but I didn't connect to the audio streams to play video games. So,
right, because they can't see it anyway. So the hell with it. Right.
NHB show and NHB radio would have only gotten wow, which
And of course, those extra noises, those whatever, are when you're really doing wow.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, we've just connected. So your Raspberry Pi is still a little not like no, the Raspberry Pi. You're supposed to take that thing into the living room with you, put it on the big screen.
Actually, I don't even have a TV in the living room.
Then what do you do in the living room?
That's for sipping tea or something.
What room has the TV?
There's a family room that has the big monster 32-inch 500-pound Sony.
Okay.
32 inches, that's huge.
Oh yeah.
In fact, it's kind of like pre-HD, and it does support 720i. Of course, who the hell puts out 720i?
Oh, I remember there was a period of time where people would try to promote the 720 TVs with the whole premise of, well, you see, the problem with the high def TV is that most programming isn't broadcast in high def yet, and so it actually looks worse on a high def TV than it does on a standard TV. So if you get here the 720 TV, this is a fair compromise, and it's going to make your bad programming look better than if you bought a 1080p TV. So.
Wow, that's incredibly stupid.
Yeah, well,
and actually, although it does make a good point. I mean, once in a while, I'll flick up the video settings for the stuff I get through Comcast, and so wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only getting 720 anyway. Still, right?
Right.
How long has an HD been out?
Yeah,
and you can get 4K TV.
Yeah, now we're at 4K, so 1080p. That's on it's
yesterday's
way out.
news.
Those are the markdown.
So Comcast
TVs.
is right on the money there with, their 720 broadcast. And some of these movies that they're sending have been out in 1080 for a long time. In fact, they came out on Blu-ray at 1080p, right?
Right.
So what the fuck are they doing?
Well,
they're cutting down the bandwidth. Because they're trying to fool you. They don't want to support 1080p because it's going to take up more bandwidth.
Well, I even wonder if 4K is a little over the top. I mean, here we were where 1080p was, this is it. This is the format. I mean, how well is the human eyesight? Is 4K necessary, or is it over the top? It's kind of like my understanding was...
Okay, so actually, let's back up a second. Who is 1080? Who is 4K for? Is it for the viewer? Actually, I'm going to say probably not. It's probably the guy that's making videos so that he can shoot, this big stuff and then select out the parts for his shall we say, for his movie or whatever, right?
So if he wants to zoom in or crop things, that he still has,
And it's
enough
still, and it doesn't look
pixels
like mush.
for
Exactly.
so 4K might be a little over the top for the
Right.
final product.
Right. And in fact, these people that have GoPros that are shooting in 4K, you know, the GoPro has that really super wide angle. You know that everything in the picture looks like a bug,
Right.
right? So
Well,
you shoot it in the 4K, and then when you're gonna do your production, post production, you crop it, you zoom it, whatever you want to do, so that. So my computer's playing pong with itself.
yeah, we've been watching that for a while.
Yeah, yeah. I'll talk to the camera while I'm. Hey
there,
hello,
Brian.
everybody.
That's
One
quite
of
a
these
hat
days
you
we'll
got.
start the show officially.
Oh, yeah.
But
Well,
so
we should do that, Brian. Now that you mention it, we
okay.
should. We kind of jumped in the middle of a conversation because I was doing the pre-show at the game. So let's actually open the. There we go. That sounds like show opening. So hello everyone. It's time for another fun-filled edition of
Insert title here.
And I'm your host, Johnny Gators, and along with me is your other host, Brian Blues, with a tall hat.
Hello, everybody.
And we are coming to you in 1080p, not in 4K. But getting back to that, I wanted to speak to that a little bit because you said an awful lot there. And
Yeah.
I mean, now I got a 720. I think it's 720p, but I know the TV in the bedroom is a 720 TV, and that was a case of it was a cheap, generic brand TV on Woot. That it was like it would be nice to put a TV in the bedroom, and it's a smaller TV, so it's perfectly fine for that, And I don't got a Blu-ray player hooked up to that. I'm just streaming stuff on a Roku box on that. So I mean,
How big is it? Like a 30-inch or something? 32-inch?
I think it's like a 27 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it might be.
Yeah, I know
like
they
30.
made a lot of those, maxed out at 720.
Yeah,
You couldn't even find a smaller one that was 1040 for 1080 for a while.
Right. I mean, at that size of a screen, you only need so many pixels. You can only put so many pixels. So
right.
I mean, 720's got its place. Now going to the 1080, the 4K.
But this guy, this monitor, a lot of the monitors nowadays comes in 1080.
Right.
So I set the thing at 1080. Although I'm thinking of trying 720, maybe maybe 720 is good enough. I like to pop up a little window, with text, and have the darn thing readable still. Of course, with this camera there angle, you can't read anything.
Well, Brian, why don't you take it into the family room, do a little old school game in there?
Right.
On your 720p TV.
Right.
Although if you set it to default to 1080, 720i,
which almost nobody supports.
So the Raspberry Pi won't work on the 720i?
I'd have to look and see if there's a setting for it.
Now here's what I find amusing about this whole thing is that you've been fighting with this old monitor that is throwing off any gaming. It's blinking out, and we've basically determined it does this for multiple devices, and it sucks. And not only do you have a few other monitors in the same room there with you, but in the course of this past week, you've gone out and bought a video game that we recommended, and then you had to go out and buy the right system to play the video game on, and then you had to go out and buy and exchange it for another one because there was a problem with that one. All these trips to play a game you'd never heard of before, but nowhere in these trips did you pick up another monitor to fix this problem.
Yeah, but that game I wasn't going to play on these monitors.
Well, yeah, but
that's a good point.
Multitasking.
I could
multiple problems in the same trip.
Right. Since I have multiple monitors here, I could probably set it up and play on one of these other monitors. Right. Oh, let's go. Okay, so here's
you can play on. Oh, you got to.
And here's another monitor. right?
And there's
Actually,
there's
see this
me on the
this one's a
laptop.
TV, right? That does. I think it has a VGA input. This one has a TV that has. I think it has a VGA input.
That
Oh,
one just
so
blinked.
that's the one that we were having trouble with. It blanks out. In fact, it just winked. Was it
I'm
in screen
thinking,
when it winked?
yeah, yes, I saw that. Now I'm thinking that just needs to go in the garbage. Like, right after the show, disconnect the cables, pick it up, garbage can. You think of all the frustration you've eliminated from your life. You'll feel so good smashing it into little
Yeah, but
pieces in your
it
driveway.
works fine on.
It
Yeah, it
works.
works fine on a regular PC.
So it only has
You know,
problems with the
I've
screen.
got a couple of PCs to.
So
So
so it
here's
never
two PCs.
it never blinks on the PC.
Never.
All right, all right, all right, all right.
Okay. And then I've got some more PCs over there. So
Well, you still should replace it and then stash it in a closet somewhere.
well, that's not the idea. Maybe I'll shift it around. Well, although whatever.
Well, I mean, but it's
You know.
bigger than your other screens.
Oh, I know. And doesn't the little 19-inch at the end look cute?
Yeah, I think you should clear all these monitors out and just buy new monitors all around.
Yeah.
Because this, you know why I'm in favor of this plan, because it doesn't cost me a thing.
I know. Yeah, I love to actually make my suggestions myself. Especially our friend Neil.
Yeah,
He would get mad at me for suggesting things. Hey, you're spending my money.
he would
No,
come
I'm
into the
not.
office with specs for a new PC, talking about how I think I'm going to get a new TV for this room and move that one there. And he came with all these plans, and then we go to the store, we'd see things, we make suggestions, and he'd make the purchase. Oh my God, Brian's spending all my money. It's like, what? Brian's taking the TV home with him that you wanted to buy, and that
Well,
he
he's
made
also
recommendations.
allergic to shopping altogether. So
Well,
yeah, it's funny.
the problem with Neil and shopping these days is that it requires full use of your feet. So I think right there, but then again,
I don't know if you've been watching on Facebook. In fact, you really should, because I think you are following him, I believe, right?
he's friends with me on Facebook, and I saw that.
Yeah.
I think his antibiotics ran out or something, and now his foot's giving him more problems again.
Oh, just recently?
Well, Facebook has a way of not showing things in the order that they come in. So,
That's right.
for all I know, that could be like a 2-week-old post I just read today.
Okay.
No, it's probably recent. Well, let's find out. Let's look up.
Well, there was a recent one where he had his neighbor had delivered a set of crutches that he got on Amazon.
Okay, 4 hours ago, Dr. Pogo Stick once again changed the dressing on my foot. It is noticeably swollen. The antibiotics ran out last Friday. Bit of a setback, so he ordered another round of them. He also ordered another x-ray to check for bone infection. Looks like I'm not getting discharged before Thanksgiving. Oh, well, this is where I need to be for the time being.
Oh, sucks.
Update. The nursing home administrator just now told me that I'm being transferred back to the hospital for x-ray and treatment. Sounds like patient dumping to me. They've been wanting to get rid of me because of all the problems with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Second update, Dr. Pogo Stick called me back. This transfer was his idea to buy me time with the insurance company so that I can get the treatment I need, so I'm on board with it. Okay.
Okay. Since I'm using the alternate camera, I should be
Yeah, last time I read
actually
this post,
looking at that one, because some people got annoyed that I'm not looking into the camera. Boy, that hat does look stupid. Of course,
yes,
I didn't realize that the headphones actually aren't helping. So let's try to
hat and
fix the
headphones are
there.
kind of an odd.
Is that better? I look
combination.
like a homie now instead of a dork. Oh no, I'm still the dork. Son of a bitch.
I'm not sure. Homie should not even be in your vocabulary, Brian.
Go back to integrated camera, see if that works.
Nope. Computer says no.
Dang. And the little light is on. Hello, little light.
Well, that's the light letting you know it's broken.
I guess.
It's a dual purpose light. It means on or broken. How do you know which? Well, if the camera's not working, it means broken. So
Right. That's right. Yeah.
anyways, before we get into your weekly adventures with the local GameStop, I do have a cheesecake update. So I made cheesecake number 2 today with my modifications, and I modified it
Now,
by
excuse me, is this the one that's going to go down in Jersey?
Pennsylvania.
Or is this still another trial?
This is going to Pennsylvania. This is the one for Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay, great. That's okay. Go for it.
All right. So the modifications I decided to try was to make Nilla wafer crumb crust instead of graham cracker crumb crust, to have a more plain crust that is not as distracting. As nice as the graham cracker crumb crust was, it was an unnecessary addition of taste into the mixture. And so I figured a more plain vanilla cookie will be less distracting from everything else that's going on and just kind of be there. That was modification number 1. The crust cooked a little quicker than I was expecting and was browning a bit after I took it out of the oven with the first round, but I don't think it burnt. So I don't know. We'll see how that comes out. I also took the pecan pie recipe because the pecan pie layer was very thin, and I really felt I needed more of that. And so I added half to it. So it was like 1.5 of what I previously had, which made for a much thicker pecan pie layer, which did not firm up as well as last time. And the recipe has me cook the pecan pie layer for 20 minutes, which firms it up but doesn't fully cook it before pouring the cheesecake layer on there. And after 20 minutes, it was still liquidy. And so I put it in for another 5 minutes, and it was still kind of flowing, but I thought, well, I really don't want to burn this or overcook this. It's got to go back in the oven really hot for the cheesecake part. So this, this looks kind of like what the other one looked like. The other one, the layer was so thin, I wasn't sure if I didn't remember what consistency it had. So I did that. But since it was a thicker and still kind of a flowing layer, when I poured the cheesecake layer on top of it, it started kind of pushing the pecan layer around a bit. So one end has a very thick pecan layer, which makes me wonder if the other end's got a really thin one or if it thins out in the middle. The point is that my pecan layer is not even underneath the cheese. And I don't know.
So it's going to be a little lopsided, you think?
I think the pecan layer, I mean, the cheesecake itself looks fine.
Just do this. Take lots of pictures, stills and videos. So if it comes out really crappy, you can submit those in to be a guest on the Worst Bakers in America.
That's not what I'm striving.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that show?
No, I've not, and I do not plan on ever appearing on that show.
It would be good. I've watched a couple of episodes, and you get some guys, you kind of go, this guy's trying to get on this show. I mean, how could some of these guys are really stupid? Like this one guest said, okay, the recipe calls for a 1/4 cup of flour. And, and he kind of holds up her fingers, the size of a quarter. It says, so how much is that? I mean, like, how fucking stupid can you get?
Wrong quarter.
the idea of that is like, actually, that's kind of cool that they think of something so stupid.
Well, I know. Obviously, what they really mean is you want to get out a drinking glass from the cupboard that has the image of a quarter placed on the glass. You see, and that's a quarter cup.
Yeah. That's how it works.
That's how it works. I don't. No, not the size of a quarter. A glass that has the image of a quarter on it. Duh.
That's right. That's right.
So all right, layer got a little lopsided, but not the end of the world. Maybe it's not that bad. I don't know. We won't know till we slice it. I put it in the oven, and the pecan layer starts bubbling a little bit out from the cheese layer in a few spots. So, here's the thing. My normal cheesecake comes out without a crack perfect every time. This cheesecake cracks a little, and I think I'm realizing the reason why it cracks a little is because the pecan layer underneath bubbles up a little, and that causes pressure to come up, and so yeah, the top. But and I'm not all that worried about. It's not like I got a huge crack.
Is this like a experiment, that a kid would have in creating a volcano?
No, not quite that bad, but similar.
Well, I mean, you haven't gone to that level yet, but
the end that had the thicker pecan layer did bubble out a little bit through the cheese layer, but it
wouldn't it be cool if you had geysers like Yellowstone?
Well, no, I wouldn't like that.
You would definitely get the worst bakers in America invitation, though.
Woodshop writes in, you want to get out your favorite cup, 128-ounce super gulp, and fill it a quarter full. So let's see, 128 ounces divided by 4. So that would be 32 ounces would be a quarter cup.
That would work.
That would work right there. So anyways, but it wasn't making a mess. It's just that you see it kind of bubbling.
Well, and here's the confusing part. You know all about the 2 cups. Oh, no, that's a 1 cup, isn't it?
What?
Never mind. I was coming up with a joke.
Oh, the 2 cups.
Yes.
2 cups.
I think you got what
yeah.
Right.
Well, 2 girls, 1 cup, actually.
Yes, I had it all mixed up, so I blew the joke.
Girls.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, we did show you that video, right?
Oh, I've seen it, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Now have you shown
not on the show, I don't think.
Have you shown the missus the wonders of the 2 girls?
No, she thinks any of this is stupid.
I don't think stupid is the word she would use to describe it if you made her watch it.
Any of it, yeah.
I think she would have much harsher words for you as she. I was just going to say as she made up the couch for you to sleep on, but I don't think she'd even be nice enough to make up the couch for you. I think some.
Well, she's seen enough about Minions. She wants to go see which Minion movie should she watch. I think. Do you really have to start with Despicable Me, or can you just jump right to Despicable Me 2?
I've only seen Despicable Me, so I don't know. But usually these movies.
But the Minions are in the first one, right?
Yeah.
It's a minor role. I think they take over in the second movie, but I don't really know because I haven't watched either one.
I think the Minions were definitely there in the first movie, and it wasn't all about them, but they were certainly a important element. But getting back to the cheesecake, the little crackings that happens on the top of this recipe, not a big deal, because when I make this cheesecake, I put this pecan praline topping on top of that, so that covers up any cracking that's going on and dresses that all up. So a little bit of cracking in this cheesecake.
Yeah, but even if you didn't put this topping on top of it, then you just say, well, that's character.
Well, yeah, but generally it is generally people try to avoid
now
cracks.
some people that bake stuff have this little trick, and that is some ovens are heat up things on unevenly, and the solution is to put one of those pizza stones into the bottom layer of the oven. Have you heard of that one before?
No, but I know that some people, when they make a cheesecake, they submerge the cheesecake pan in water, and that helps even out the temperature some in the cooking of the cheesecake. Now, my recipes have never called for that, and I've not gone to those levels with that.
Well, so you have another pan with water in it?
Right.
And that doesn't steam up your oven.
Well, I suppose I don't know. I've not done this. I've just read things suggesting that.
And what temperature do you have this oven set to?
Well, for the cheesecake, it starts at 450 for 10 minutes, and then you turn it down to 200 for 45 minutes, and then you turn it off and open the door a little bit.
The water would be bad, I think.
Yeah, well,
I mean, if it calls for it, sure, but.
Well, my recipe doesn't call for it, and I don't know what temperature they tell you to set the oven for on recipes that do call for it. Recipes that call for it may be calling for different temperatures and different timings. I don't know.
So I had suggested, to my wife that I had heard that a pizza stone is actually really good for an oven, and she completely dismissed the whole idea.
Well, do you have any problems with it?
She'll never try it. She'll never even try it. She was actually concerned about the temperature of the oven that we have in our other place.
I see.
But
recipes
we used it this weekend to reheat up pizza.
Okay.
And it was actually fine because she used an oven thermometer, played around it with, and it was fine. But she basically comes down to is she doesn't get the whole concept of what a pizza stone would do. That's why she rejected. She's done a lot of baking, and she's never felt that she needed anything like that.
Okay. Fair enough.
I guess she's never burned anything.
So, anyways, let's get to your.
What do I know? She gives me crap for putting green beans in a burrito.
As she should,
That
because
sounds gross.
what the hell? Green beans in a burrito? No, that's the wrong kind of beans, Brian.
It's all I had at the time.
That's no excuse.
And I had to use them up. It's like, okay, I'm going to use green beans. What the hell?
Oh my God!
Actually, I was watching one of these chef shows. It might have been Beat Bobby Flay, or it might have been something else, where the person put something else that it was another unusual vegetable in something like a burrito.
I see.
So it's like, well, if that guy can do it, I can do the same thing. Well, with green beans. Of course, the problem is that she hates green beans. So
Now, were you making this for her as well, or just for yourself?
Well, she had some.
Oh, you know she doesn't like green beans, and you make her a green bean burrito.
Well, I force her to eat some things.
I see.
She thinks that she isn't a fussy eater, but there's a fairly long list of crap that she won't eat it. I mean, she like corned beef. Do you like corned beef?
That's okay, and not my favorite.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but you'd eat it, right? No, she hates it.
Okay.
She wants nothing to do with it.
All right. Well, Woodshop points out here, and maybe you could try to broach the topic of this. Pizza stones are so 3 years ago. Like, oh my God.
How 3 years?
3 years ago. You're 3 years behind, Brian. You are 3 years behind. You need to get with the times.
Well, to be honest with you, I did see this video where a person was using a pizza stone. Of course, she's a person living in an RV, so maybe it's a really crappy oven. And that was over a year ago. So Woodshop might be right. It might be so many years ago.
Yeah, and he continues on, and I'm going to tweet the link for this. He continues on in the message. The in thing right now is baking steel, 1/2-inch thick, 16 by 14-inch chunk of steel. And I guess you put that in your oven, and there you go. $129. Well, there you go, Brian. Something to get the missus for Christmas this year, I'm thinking. You wrap this up, you put it under the tree, you're all set.
Cool. Hey, this time the chat button worked, although I don't see any history on it, so it's probably from now on.
Yeah. No,
were you in the Hangout chat with Woodshop writing in, or was this?
No. Woodshop's writing into one of the messengers, either NHB Live through AOL Instant Messenger or Yahoo Instant Messenger. Also, NHB Live through Skype is not up yet, but we will bring that up right now. My apologies for my delays in bringing up the Skypes, but we will. No, I don't want to bring up my Skype. I want to bring up the NHB Skype. So we're just going to sign out of there. And we're going to, there we go, NHB Live and 27X399 for, wait, what? Never mind. Pay no attention to that. And Skype should be coming up momentarily. So NHB Live through Skype, at NHB Radio through Twitter. And yeah, that's all the ways you can interact. So anyways, yeah, get the steel, the big baking steel. And it's 30 pounds. It's recycled steel. It's virtually indestructible. It's made in the USA. Inspired by Nathan Myhrvold's modernist cuisine, pre-seasoned with our proprietary oil. Custom sizes are available. It's flat and easy storage for home ovens or home grills. Also great for rustic breads. So there you go, Brian. What do you think? Is this making it to the Christmas list this year? Put a bow on that, put it under the tree, and you're good to go.
I'm not the baker, so it wouldn't be on my list.
Right. That's why you would buy it for the missus.
Ah, one of those. Oh, look what I got!
I got
her.
you a 30-pound piece of steel.
I don't think she would get it.
If you do this, you have to set up the video camera so you can share it with us on the
Right.
after
Yeah,
show.
that's right.
Assuming you're still allowed in the house to broadcast the show.
Right, that's right. Well, I could take the show on the road.
There we go. And I think will be the first question on the first show after Christmas will be, so what's that piece of steel embedded in your head there? What's the story behind that?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, but anyways, speaking of buying crazy things,
It's my new speech impediment or something.
So we recommended a game for you last week, and now we thought this would be easy because the Xbox One was supposed to have certain backwards compatibilities with Xbox 360 games. And
so yes, let's get into the story. Yeah. So I first went to Amazon to look for the game. We're talking about Portal.
Yes, Portal,
and it's
on the
included
box.
in this multi-game set called Orange Box.
Right.
The other one is on there is Half-Life or Half-Life 2.
Half-Life 2.
Half-Life 2. So okay, that should be decent. Although I was looking on Amazon there, and it goes. Number one, it wasn't available on Amazon Prime, so if I ordered it, would come, like next week or whatever.
Right, that's not.
But also, I looked into the Q&A, and it claimed, one guy claimed that this will work on Xbox One because there is this compatibility thing that they're working on, So they turn on individual games for compatibility, and that list apparently is growing. So I go, okay, fine, but I ain't gonna get it on time if I go to Amazon. So I'll go to the local GameStop, and lo and behold, not only did they have the game, but they had a used one, so I could pay, so instead of, I think it was $69 on Amazon for a new one, this was $25.
Not bad.
So that's, a big savings. Like, to me, I don't care a used game. It's still going to work, right?
Right.
So I get it home, popped it in, blah, 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 and throw it in my Xbox One, and it comes up not compatible.
Huh.
Crap. Now what do I do?
Yeah, and I just found an article here from October that says that they did add compatibility for that one. So that's weird that yours didn't work. And you installed all the updates.
Yeah. Of course, when I turn on my Xbox, it goes, hey, do you want to go for an Xbox or do you want to wait? Let's go for the Xbox. How long is that going to take? I think it took 3 hours. God damn it.
Yeah, I hate that when I turn on, because there are times where I don't get to play games that frequently. And so like after like months of not playing, I'm like, I'm turning this on and I'm going to, shoot at some cops on the video game. And I turn on the video game and it spends, 3 hours updating. And it's like, come on, I just want to play a game. Can you do this some other time? But
Right. Well, I think what they want you to do is leave the machine on so it'll update automatically itself.
Right.
Well, I'm not going to do that. I mean,
no.
These things, burn a lot of juice. What the hell is this? So anyway, and there is an option to say, no, skip the update. And maybe that's the way to do it. You just skip the update, and then in the end, you go and say, okay, rather than turning it off, I'll tell it to go do the update, and it'll be fine.
Right.
Fool me once, shame on shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, right?
Or as W would say,
So don't
you
do
fool
that
me
again.
once, you fool me twice, you don't get fooled again.
Don't get fooled again. That's right.
Right. Don't get, yeah, he flubbed it and just go, don't get fooled again.
Right.
If you're, not as intelligent as some people,
The first time is the learning experience. The second time is a kick in the ass, right?
you fool me twice, I won't get fooled again.
Right. Okay, so dang, it's incompatible. What can I do? So I packaged the game up. I went back to GameStop, and I go, well, I could return this, or I could look to see. Of course, they're going to have one.
Yeah.
A used Xbox 360. What the hell? I looked on their shelf of the empty boxes. They have scattered all over the place for the used ones, $50. I says, yeah, okay, I'll get this. And then I was talking to the guy, and he was knowledgeable. That's what I like about GameStop. They're knowledgeable. Sometimes they'll give you bullshit, but
Yeah.
anyway, you could get it. The newer model has built-in HDMI. I'll get the newer one.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. That sounded
Although,
good.
of course, it only comes with the, composite video cable.
So you have
But
to get the
that's
HDMI
okay.
cable separate.
Okay. So, just so happens the other guy was out for lunch or something like that. So he was by himself. So I had to wait for the other guy to come back. And then the other guy came back, and the other guy went into the back room and started digging through the thing. And it seemed like it took forever, right? But I finally found one that had the HDMI cable connection.
Nice.
With the composite cable. So it came out, and we did the transaction, blah, 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 blah. I go home, plug it in, check it out, and
You get the red ring
tweeted
of
some
death.
pictures to Johnny that, you get the red circle.
Yeah, the red ring of death.
And I went through the Xbox Trouble Wizard, and it goes through all these steps of pull the plug, put it back in, try this. In fact, it's interesting. The cable looks exactly like those PC cables, with that big end.
Right.
But it's not 3-prong, it's only 2-prong. I have never seen that before. Why didn't they use the 3? It's a very complicated power supply, et cetera, et cetera. Why don't they have a 3-cable deal? What's with that?
I don't know what's with that.
It's basically just a computer.
But
so
yeah,
I thought that was weird.
But yeah, that red circle's a fairly common thing that basically means you're fucked. Is what that red ring of death.
In fact, when you get through this whole wizard thing, it tells you probably have a bad power supply. Well, when I went to GameStop, he says, you know what that really means is you've got a fried motherboard.
Yeah. A bad power supply is.
So anyway, so he replaced the whole thing. He went in the back. Interestingly enough, as had walked in this second time, the other guy was going out to lunch again. It's like, can I get a break here? No, this is a different day.
Oh, I see. You just keep catching him at the same time.
So anyway, so the guy goes out and back, and he comes out actually just in a few minutes. So because I think he probably already sorted through them all, so you know which one that he could just pick up. So we swapped it out, and I went home. Okay, let's set this whole thing up. Go into the Wi-Fi setting, and it goes, "Oh, you need to get the Wi-Fi dongle." What the fuck? That's not built in.
So could you just skip that and just play games?
Well, then I says, well, what the hell? I'm going to use an internet cable. There is an internet connection there, so I plugged that in, and it was going through all of this bullcrap. It's like, wait a second. How hard is it to connect to the internet? Microsoft Windows 10 has it very simplified, right?
Right.
Am I right?
This was going anything.
As it turned out, I was having some difficulty with my router. I didn't know. It was kind of getting all freaked out. I don't know why. So I had rebooted that later, and I decided, the heck with the cable. I've spent enough time on this bull crap. I'll just go in, like you say, go straight in and play the game.
Right. Just hit play.
So I hit the play, and oh, good, it worked. It doesn't require, some games require that Xbox Live, and requires you to have a subscription. All this bull crap. But this did not. I mean, you could optionally use that as a place to save your games. Oh, speaking of saving, or your profile, I should say, and saving your games. Speaking of that, when I was going through with GameStop, he had also suggested, yeah, that game is going to need to store your games on it. So either, and he pulls out this big brick,
Nice.
get the hard drive, and he had two sizes, I forget what, 20 gigs and 40 gigs or something or other. And I says, no, that's okay. In fact, he said you could also use just a USB stick. At least you got to be more than a gig, though. Come on, a 16 gig stick is easy to come up with, right?
Right.
In fact, I stopped at Office Depot and I picked up two 16 gig USB sticks.
Okay, so
one was really cool because it was just a little stub.
Oh, nice.
You don't want this damn thing hanging out. You want to stuff it in there and forget about it.
Right.
Anyway, so that worked. I stuck the sucker in there. Boom, it worked fine. Let me store my, create a new profile and store it on that thing. And got in a plan. Here we go. Long story short, hey, I got to play it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after all of that, what do you think of Portal?
I think it's cool. It has you go through these, I forget what they're called, lessons?
Test chambers.
Test chambers, so you can try it. And I got into, so the first one is a very basic, here's how you walk through the portal.
Right. It starts you very slow.
The second one, it goes through and has you pick up this big object and drop it on a button.
Right.
Pretty simple. And then the second one, you go in and you're doing the same thing, but you have to go through a set of portals, wait for the right color to show up, and then you can drop it on the button and then you go through. That's also fairly simple. And then the next one, you basically go and pick up this gun so you can create your own portals.
Right.
That was pretty simple.
That's what they're leading up to here.
Okay, so then you go through the next one, and you've got that gun. You go through there, and so there's the big object you have to pick up, and then and there's the button. And then you go out and you go through, and there's these up and down stairs and all this kind of stuff, and going all around. You're shooting away, creating the portal, and all this kind of stuff. Well, I didn't get out of there. I kept getting lost. It's like, wait a second, how the hell do I get to the... I may have actually skipped there might have been another test before this one, but yeah, it was going around in stairs. They're always at the wrong level. And I can see the elevator thing. I can see the object I'm supposed to pick up.
It's a puzzle type game. How to, complete the test chamber with placing portals. And so
I noticed in some of these games you're going through and you see this other character running around, and I concluded basically you're looking at yourself. Am I right?
You can see yourself through the portals, yes.
Right. So you're seeing in the alternate dimension or whatever the hell, you kind of see yourself doing things.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of weird, like, am I doing that? Do I look like that? Am I really a dork?
Yeah, you're Chell. You're little female running around, making portals.
Anyway, so I kind of got stuck, and basically I ran out of time because that was on Friday late, and we were meeting this guy for dinner, and then we were hopping in the car to go to Pacific Grove for the weekend.
I see. So you're able to meet the guy.
Because we want to be at our weekend place when it's raining.
Well, of course. Where else are you going to enjoy the rain?
It rained all weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. So you tell your friend that you went for dinner about this great new game you're playing called Portal?
No,
not.
We didn't talk about it.
No.
So in fact, so Oh no, she hasn't watched it. So you go out to dinner, and actually, this person that we had dinner with was a coworker of my wife's. So don't you love it when you go out to lunch with a coworker or even a friend that has a coworker with them, and they say, "Oh, sorry about the shop talk," and then continue talking shop?
Oh yeah, that's wonderful.
Oh yeah. Oh, another guy that does that is Neil.
Yeah, yeah. I don't mean to
Yeah.
talk
Well,
about work.
why make an apology if you're not going to do anything about it?
Yeah, that's kind of
Right?
like prefacing an insult with no offense, but
Yeah. Oh, I like that one as well. I
no
like that one
offense,
as
but you're a
well.
total douchebag, you know. But no offense.
Right, right. Or I like the other one that they say something bad about a person, and then they say, "Oh no, I'm not going to go there." Wait a minute, you just fucking went there. I mean, what is this?
Yeah, yeah. That's
Oh, brother. Yeah,
y-
that in fact like is the cream on the crop.
yeah.
You
People
know.
just want to kind of get away with something and
Yeah.
try to pretend like they're not being that type of person. Like
Right.
I don't want to gossip, but have you heard about what Nick's been up to lately?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
No, I don't. I'm not getting into the gossip. I'm just saying I heard that. Isn't that what
Right.
gossip is?
That's right. Right. Yeah, I heard this rumor.
Of course, you're always
But
tapped
don't
into the
don't tell them.
gossip.
Don't tell anybody. In fact, actually, I think the Big Bang Theory has gone through that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Where they kind of tell the rumor and then they're not going to tell it.
right.
That sort of thing. Yeah.
But yeah. Well, but one
Or
thing.
actually, what's even worse is when they tell you about a rumor and then they won't tell you the rumor. Like, why did you even go that far?
And I'm that type of person that once I know that someone knows something that is of interest to me, but they can't tell me, and they've made this known to me. Oh no, there is no way you are getting out of this. I will be relentless until you spit it out. And I think you know this about me. I will. No, you can't go and tell me you know something and not tell me. You spit it out right now.
It's like I'm gonna one up on you by telling you that I know something you don't know. Well, fuck you, dude. Right?
Right, right. So, yeah. So, sounds like you had a little bit of fun. You're only getting started, but now has any of
Yeah.
the commentary been amusing yet, or has it been pretty generic so far? Like because you got Gladys is the voice that's guiding you through all the test chambers.
There's a voice.
You've not been playing with sound?
I thought there was music and stuff like this, but I don't recall hearing a voice.
Yeah, there was a voice that's instructing you what to do in the chambers. Or Gladys at the beginning of the chamber, she says something, and she's got like this electronic voice that
Oh, that electronic voice. But
the
yeah, see,
electronic
I
voice.
thought the guidance was so esoteric, it didn't really help.
Well, Gladys gets interesting as you get further into the
Okay.
game.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I guess I'm not far enough. Because in this one that I was going around and around in circles, there really was no guidance at all. I kind of go, okay, what am I supposed to do here? Look this up on YouTube and get some hints, walk through.
I mean, you could do that. You could do that.
But no, I think the game is cool. I mean, I used to play. I don't see it. I used to play. There was that game Myst,
Yeah, I remember that
and
game.
then there was a one. It's not a game where you're shooting anybody or even come across people, but you kind of get through these clues and stuff like to get to some, shall we call it, vague destination. You know,
Right.
and you're not really winning the game; you're just completing it. If that makes any sense. So no,
Yeah,
I
I
like
guess
that
so.
kind of game. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but the voice Gladys just kind of is putting you through the test chambers, but doesn't give you any hints during the test. She doesn't speak until you've completed the test.
So my wife is giving me some crap about playing, not a lot, but a little bit of playing Mobile Strike on my phone. And she kind of goes, "Oh, are you feeding your men?" Well, that's not really what the game does, you know. Yeah, I turn on a 3-day shield and it lasts for 3 days, but you log in to do things. You know, you're building stuff, you're doing this and the other thing, making sure that there's enough food being meant for the game. You know, being made for the game to use. Because if you have more troops than food, then you run out of food and you're screwed. In fact, I
Right.
was in trouble, and I purposely went out to pick up resources because you use troop that, and then I taunted a guy. I said, "Oh, hey, look, I'm getting these resources. You want to kill my men? I've got too many men to play the game. You know, I don't. You know." And the guy says, "Okay, I'll do that." But at first, the guy kind of goes.
Kind of a
One
thinning of
one
the
guy
herd.
responded like, "Oh no, you're fine. You're not bothering me. You're not getting what I'm asking for.
Just
Fucking
kill
kill
some
my
men.
men."
Kill my
Yeah,
men.
seriously. No, I'm not baiting you to, you know, because you could fill up a resource with a ton of men and you would wipe them out.
Right.
You know, that's what I was going for. I mean,
So
one guy got me without even asking. He just did it. You know,
so what's going on? So your wife is get into the game or aware of the game, or she's playing it too, or
which
what you're talking about? You
Mobile
said that
Strike? Oh no
she
no
was
no no
telling you to
no! She
feed your
was
men
just trying to be polite. She plays as Candy Crush.
Candy Crush. Okay.
Yes. So
Candy
so
Crush
anyway,
isn't that like 3 years
anyway,
ago?
so she says, "Are you feeding your men?" And I go, "This was I think yesterday." And I goes, "No, I'm out going out killing rebels." She's shocked. I'm killing something. Oh, this is horrible. I mean, she's not even looking at the screen, so she doesn't know what a rebel looks like. Oh, a rebel looks like a little flying helicopter that's stationary,
Oh, okay.
or a tank that's stationary, or it'll be, a troop transport or something like that that's stationary. You just knock them out to get, special objects. I
I-
mean,
I'm thinking we need
it's
to.
not like it's killing. It's not like a first shooter where you are splattering blood all over everything. You're
I was just
just
gonna say we need to. Is she aware of other games you play? I mean, surely we could pick up a copy of Grand Theft Auto for your Xbox and set her up
right, right,
a
right,
round of
right.
that. Or hey, cousin,
Well,
you
yeah,
need to show me a reaction.
she has seen. I think she has seen my Forza 5, which has no blood, no guts, no nothing. I think she's seen that. I think that's cool with that, and that's kind of what I'm into. This is a real life sort of realistic simulation. That's what Forza 5 is. Although I got the Forza Horizons 2 for the Xbox One, because that lets you go off the track to drive on streets and all this kind of stuff. I haven't started it yet, but that's what I want to do. And I'm kind of hoping to get into some off-road action, you know. Hey, what the hell, bump over rocks and whatever.
Oh yeah, there's that. But no, you gotta pick up some Grand Theft Auto
Oh,
and
in
play some
in
of that.
Forza 5, they do give you once in a while some, trophies for, getting a certain speed or doing this or that and the other thing. But I did get the trophy that they award for rolling the car. Yes.
Yay, you win.
Yeah, and it was at the Laguna Seca track. There's a curve called the um,
The
the
curve.
corkscrew. I was at a blank a second there. The corkscrew is really actually pretty cool. That definitely makes that track, fun.
Well, that sounds cool.
Because you just can't go head on. I mean, it spins around. Yeah, it's cool.
Well, I'm thinking we should take a little break and come back for hour 2 of the show because I'm feeling a little thirsty. And
all right,
so we'll take a quick little break here. And I actually got a little link that I wanted to look at last week's show that we didn't get to. So this week's show had this little link of 14 products that were invented strictly for idiots. I thought this was an amusing little article. Had some interesting products.
Oh, fantastic! That sounds great.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
It's
we got
break
that.
time.
Yeah, break time, and we'll be back. So stay tuned.
Yeah, all right. We'll see ya. I'm going to try to reboot my computer and see if we can get the damn video to work right.
Crater Maker. Crater Maker. www.cratermakerband.com. EP now available on iTunes, Amazon, CD Baby, and Bandcamp.
Are you still looking for that perfect Christmas tree? Well, look no further. Come on down to Gothard's Tree Farm. At Gothard's Tree Farm, we've got all your favorite Christmas tree varieties. We've got everything from Arizona cypress to white spruce, all available in a wide variety of shapes and sizes, all fireproof to provide added protections from overheating Christmas lights or unexpected alien visitors. And here at Gothard's Tree Farm, there's lots of fun for the whole family. Come on by and spend a day browsing for that perfect tree and then enjoy a hot cup of Dickens' famous spiced cider and spend an evening with us admiring the beautiful starlit sky looking for UFOs. So if it's a Christmas tree and family fun you're looking for, come on by to Gothard's Tree Farm. Pick out a tree and enjoy some UFO spotting today. Gothard's Tree Farm, located in lovely Dixmont, Maine, right at the corner of Route 7 and 15, just a stone's throw from Cabo San Conte Lake.
Yo, this is Dune from the Dune and Bob Show. You're probably wondering what all this racket is in the background. Well, with the way the gas prices and the economics have been lately and basically everything else Obama has done to us, I've had to take on a second job. Shh, don't tell anybody, but I'm a nighttime DJ at a club. Hang on a second. No, hey, look at the sign. It says absolutely no requests. Yeah, leave the DJ alone. Yes. Thank you. No, I am hang on, let me get my card. I am constructing a mix out of songs to create a vibe/journey/musical experience outside the catering to an individual's desire to hear my song, if you know what I mean. If you can't live inside the music, you should just stay at home and listen to your iPod. Requests are for scared, musically uneducated dweebs who have no desire to learn about new, good tracks or experience the art of modern EDM. There. Jeez. Oh. Okay, she's gone. Hey, by the way, just to let you know, a little secret. I found out that DJs really don't do anything. All I'm doing is just replaying something that Vamp recorded like a month ago. It's really simple. That's why I can't do requests. But listen, I was sworn to secrecy by the DJs of America Club. Geeks even made me pinky swear to it. God. So anyway, Dune and Bob Show, Sundays, 6-8 Eastern, nhbradio.com. Be there.
Hey, Tina, guess what, man? We got a show on NHB.
And what's it called?
It's called Detox Radio.
Oh, what are we going to be doing?
Well, we're kind of here to help solve the listeners' problems.
Who, you and me, or just you? 'Cause I don't feel like helping people with their problems.
Well, you'll be there to add humor and answer our M's and stuff like that.
I ain't talking unless you got some liquor in me.
Well, that's no problem because I got the liquor. But you sound like a real problem with alcohol. Like you use it as a crutch to socially interact with people. I say we take a further look
And
into.
shut the hell up with your know-it-all advice. Save that stuff for the show. And you should be talking. You're the one with the drinking problem.
What? I have no drinking problem. Who has a drinking problem? Screw you, dude.
And screw you.
What?
Hey, you think you're better than me?
Yes. Tune in to hear me and Timmy try to give people advice on how to deal with the trials of life right here on the No Holds Barred Radio Network. Saturdays from 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern. Fuck you, dogga. And don't miss out. You might regret it later. Although that is my opinion on the matter because people just never seem to want to take good advice because.
Ben,
No.
shut the hell up already. You think you know everything.
What? No, I never said that.
You always do.
What? No, I don't.
You're always giving advice like you think you know everything in the world.
What? I did not.
Yeah, I swear to God you do.
Hey guys, we're supposed to do a promo for ADHD Radio.
Really?
Yeah, does anybody know what ADHD this thing is?
I have no fucking clue.
ADHD Radio.
Bill, have you ever heard of it before?
It has this video vamp guy. That's all I know.
Does it? I heard it had a Mexican, or has a Mexican.
He was house trained.
It was us trained. Yeah, but you can check out ADHD Radio, and like us, we're gonna find out. Check them out Saturday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And for our Spanish-speaking listeners, learn English.
Wow.
The Chaotic Cast would like to pat itself on the ass for bringing you eons of broadcasting excellence.
Since before the world had hair on its nuts, we were there documenting watershed waterhead moments.
Together, we uncovered the origin of humanity.
The space reptile astronauts which came to Earth and created the human race. Maybe you've heard of that before.
We enrich your lives with enlightened religious points of view.
Those who remain neutral in the battle were cursed to be born with black skin. This is the Mormon explanation for the Negro race.
And gradually, the listener count rose.
Our tireless efforts resulted in a public outcry of support. Here's one listener's feedback.
Lord Jesus, oh shit! Whoa, whoa! That was awesome! That was awesome right there! God damn!
We even started getting praise from on high. Here's some feedback from NHB management.
The Chaotic Cast is live every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tune in and interact with the show by going to nhbradio.com. Also available as a podcast at chaoticcast.com. No Holds Barred Radio. If you're not listening, you can't hear this.
And we're back here for hour 2 of
Insert title here.
And yeah, if you liked hour 1, just wait for hour 2. Brian still on the same webcam as he was on hour 1. I take it that the reboot was a no-go.
Yeah, it didn't work at all. How bizarre.
Yeah.
In fact, it was acting worse because it would throw me out of the hangout altogether. It was bizarre.
Well,
hey, a Skype caller.
Speaking of people with technical problems, we got Venison on the line.
Yeah, technical problem seems to. Well, that's not true. We still have one, an odd one, no less.
What's
my
up?
AVG won't work on the other machine.
You're a what?
AVG.
AVG.
I went and did, it had a major update to do, and then when it got done, it wouldn't bring up the user interface anymore. It's broken.
Oh, that's a new feature. It doesn't use interfaces now.
Yeah, right. And to make matters worse, it took out, the 2015, took out all kinds of files on the 2015 version, but I don't see any files for the 2016 version. Fucked up.
Well, it sounds like you need to uninstall and reinstall it. But
yeah, I think so.
But anyways, you're here just in time because I got an article here that is called "We're Pretty Sure These 14 Products Were Invented Strictly for Idiots." So this might be, if you're having some trouble with some gift ideas for those special people in your life.
The really special ones, yeah.
Yeah, might we
the ones that
offer...
they make a special bus for?
Yeah. You know, when they say that person is special, there's always that special inflection on the word special. That is what these products would be for. So I'm going to go ahead.
By the way, have you been watching People of Earth?
No.
Because there's a line where the alien has, taken one of the people and says to them, "You are special." And she looks up from the bed and says, "Bullshit." It's perfect.
All right, so we got our first great gift idea. This is called the Abhancer, and it's a plastic like grid-like thing that you strap onto your stomach that leaves its imprint into. It's kind of like if you sit on something funny, you have that pattern embedded in you for a while. Like you might sit on an extension cord or your headphone cable or lean on something, and then you got like a line on your arm from where that cord was. Well, it's using that premise to create a pattern of abs on your.
So you get that fake six-pack.
Right. I mean, you see the
Right.
pictures here. If you're not watching us on YouTube, which you aren't because no one is, you should be, because then you could get the visual to go with this. So yeah, you strap this plastic grate onto your stomach for a while. It imprints on you, and then you go out on the beach with your shirt off really quick because this probably wears off in a matter of minutes. And it looks like you have abs, or it looks like you're a fat ass with some pattern embedded on your chest. But either
Maybe
way,
the thing to do is to kind of coat it with, something dark. I wouldn't say a paint, but maybe like an ash or something like this, so that you would get a slight mark or a dark area, dark pattern that would be more persistent.
that might help. You see,
Or you go to one of those tattoo parlors and get it tattooed in.
See, now we're thinking of ways to improve these gifts. But there you go. You get a 6-pack in seconds. It says here right on the box. Totally legit. What do you think, Venison? You buying this for anyone?
My God, improving the product. So an idiot improving upon an idiot. Yeah.
All right. Maybe we should move
Nice
on.
call.
Maybe we should move on to the next idea. And the thing is I have a feeling this next product, to bring it into current times, it's probably even Blu-ray compatible. This product right here is something I was once asked if we sold them at Walmart, because you've heard of the VHS rewinders. Well, oddly enough, you would think that they would have gotten it at the times, and these would be everywhere. This was called a DVD rewinder.
Oh, God.
Excellent.
And it's the fastest DVD rewinder available. It says so on the box. You put the disc
Great.
in.
Does it actually clean the disc? Is that what it really does?
I don't see any brushes on the picture of this. I think it just spins it around. Backwards, of course.
Oh, God.
That's funny. That's
Yeah.
funny. I mean, if it was literally cleaning the disc, that would be funny and functional.
Funny and functional, but this
But
is
it
just
doesn't.
plain
Yeah, it doesn't look.
funny.
I don't really see it good enough to see that.
But I think
But
this
it's
should
cool.
be. I think this should be on Venison's wish list, because I know he's got so many DVDs, and
I'll smack you.
It must take forever to rewind them all. Just think of all the time you could save, Venison, with this.
Seriously,
Venison, you mean you don't return your DVDs to the red box without rewinding it first?
You mean you're supposed to return them?
Anyways,
A good one. I mean, I have no answer for that.
you know what? I actually have a problem with this device. This DVD rewinder is not compatible with my DVD player, because I have a DVD player that will remember where your disc left off when you were last using it, even if you take the disc out of the player and put it back in.
So you wouldn't even want to use this.
If I use this, it would not actually rewind the DVD, because I could put my DVD in this, rewind it, put it in my DVD player, and it's still going to pick up where I last left off. It won't actually rewind it. So, yeah,
That's a rather interesting feature.
I think I have a compatibility issue with this DVD rewinder with my DVD.
Now, some of the oldest DVD players, they wouldn't remember squat. I mean, if you stopped it,
that was it.
It was it. the Sony that I have, it remembers it unless you pop the disc out. So it's only half useful.
Well, my Sony
Yeah.
remembers if you
Mine
pop
does
the
that
If
disc.
you shut the thing off and then come back to it, turn it back on, that's fine. It remembers where it was. Now there are some that you can remove the disc, play something else, go back to the other one, and it'll still remember. That's cool.
Yeah, and mine does that. But the reason mine does that is because I bought it. I have a DVD player that's got SACD playback compatibility, and it's a Sony. So basically, it's like Sony's top of the line DVD player of that time period, or one of their higher models. So the DVD player that had SACD playback also had other advanced features such as remembering where your DVD last was, which throws me off sometimes because I could take a DVD out halfway into something, toss it off to the side, and 3 months later, I pull the disc out, throw it in the player, hit the play button, and it starts where it last left off. And it's like, no, I want to watch it from the beginning. Yeah. So,
Right.
anyways,
there's some things you want to forget. Now,
our next product.
Before we quite move on, before we in Comcast On Demand, you could stop something, go to the other TV, start it up, and it'll start where you left off, which is cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
There's the new version where you have the remote you can talk into and says, okay, let's watch MacGyver. And after 50 times of saying MacGyver, 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 it'll finally figure out what the hell you're talking about. Anyway, so that one, if you stop it and then go back into it, it doesn't remember squat. So it's like, wait a minute, why did you remove that feature to give you a fancy new feature that doesn't quite work quite?
You traded one feature for another, and that
Right.
sucks. It's kind of like I got into an argument with Addie earlier today, and Addie is Addie's got a type of personality that if someone approaches something differently than he does, that bothers him to the point that his attitude is to try to convince the person that they're wrong and that they should be doing it his way. And then if they don't, he basically will come to accept it in a mocking, ridicule type of way. For example, he was talking about how he was looking at Windows 10 PCs, and he's really liking Windows 10 and is thinking of picking up a new Windows 10, laptop with touchscreen and all that, and how cool this is. And he's like, "You still run Windows 7? You haven't updated yet? You should update." And I'm like, "Well, we've been over this, Addy. I rely on Windows Media Center to work with my TV tuner as a DVR, and Windows 10 doesn't support Windows Media Center." So I really, and there's nothing that I have to gain from going to Windows 10, and I lose a functionality that I can't easily replace. So it just doesn't make sense for me to upgrade to Windows 10. And he's like, "Oh, that's okay. You're old. You don't like change, but that's okay." And it's like, no, Addie, that's not what I said.
That's not what you said at all. Yeah.
That's not what I said at all. But that's the thing. Addie's like, Addie's mentality is you should obviously upgrade to Windows 10 like I have. And if you don't, that means that you're stupid and don't like change. There's just no other explanation. And he just can't seem to wrap his head around the fact that different people have different needs or different approaches. And this is just something that's been very consistent with him. He just cannot handle different people.
Can you imagine what the argument would be like if I told him I still like my XP and I'm not changing?
Right.
He probably should.
My brother, who I've been trying to get to come onto the show as well, because that would be hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Now he's basically a consultant for small businesses, some individuals, and nonprofits, and he works on their PCs. He'll help them buy one and he doesn't have any inventory. He'll go to Costco and he says, "Yeah, let's get this one." "Oh, okay." He lets them, or he'll even purchase it for them and then he bills them. But he's really not making money on that. He'll install Windows and whatever. And he told me he upgraded something like 40 customers to Windows 10. And a few had compatibility issues, so they rolled it back to Windows 7 or 8 or whatever they're on.
Right.
And he kind of got me to upgrade my computers. Like, okay, no problem. I mean, I'm into, hey, you know me, I'm into the latest thing. I have an Xbox One, goddamn
Right,
it,
right. You'll try it out,
Yeah.
Exactly. You're not
Anyway,
afraid of that.
So two of my main machines I have upgraded, and I'm okay, But I was talking to my brother this last week, I think it was Friday, and he basically declared that Windows 10 is a failure. And he's upgraded 40 customers.
That's
so it's kind of hilarious,
That's it sounds like someone that doesn't really stand behind his work right there, but
well, but I mean, shall we say he did the responsible thing and he backed up his, he backed his product. He didn't say it's like, you got to do it. He kind of would suggest it and they would kind of go for it. He would try to figure out whether a customer either needed it or should go with the upgrade, whatever. So he's responsible,
right?
But it was kind of funny to see him declare that Windows 10 is a failure. One thing I do like is this latest update for Windows 10, which of course you don't have the choice in it. It just upgrades for you. Of course, at an inconvenient time.
Of course.
But the one feature is that you click on the little Windows button, and hey, guess what? Your apps are right there. I don't have to click for apps. Like, dang, this should have been this way before. Because you click on that window, and then you have to click on apps to see the programs.
Well, anyways, we should get back to our article, though.
Okay, so step
strayed
3
a little too far. So number 3 is belief.
We can turn anything into a bitch session, right?
Believe in God instantly.
Instantly.
Looks like it's some type of a little package or a tube that's in there. Like maybe it's a breath spray. I don't know if this is it's a little canister. And it's as seen on TV. Surrender yourself to a higher power and never feel alone again. It's a miraculously pepperminty, faith-enhancing breath spray. So it's a breath spray that will make you help you believe in God.
I thought this was God. Let's ask it.
Okay, let's ask God.
Are you God?
I'm not a god, just me.
Okay, that's not a god.
Okay, not a god. But if you need a god, just buy this Believe in God breath spray and be prepared to surrender yourself to a higher power and never feel alone again. So great stocking stuffer for your fellow heathens or sinners or I don't know, people that you think could use a little God in their life,
This country's gone to hell.
Yeah, well, that's beside the point. I forget, did you listen to last week's show?
I wasn't here?
Or did you come in late?
I came in late because Gotham was on.
Oh. I thought Gotham started later.
I don't even remember last week's show anymore.
Well, I did get a little angry, shall we say.
Oh, about
we were talking about the riots, and I said, let them burn the shit all down. I think that was my anger side talking.
But they hurt other people in the process. That's kind of not cool.
Well, but they do it in their own neighborhood.
Right, but still, people live in those neighborhoods that are not burning it down.
True.
But anyways, getting back to our list here, number 4 is some sort of a cup holder for your handheld device. It holds your coffee while you text your idiot friends about your coffee. So I don't see how that would work too well. Yeah, that does not look very safe. I'm thinking you lift your device up.
This is for the guy that used the cup holder that's built into the computer.
Oh, there you go.
You push the little button, the cup holder pops out.
Yeah. I have an actual cup holder that pops out of my tower. I added on to my computer. It's not very
that's
useful.
cool. Yeah.
Here we go. These are fashion batteries. See, they're color coordinated so that you can have fashionable batteries in your device.
Yeah, but what the image is kind of crappy. So can you zoom it in? No.
Yeah, I could zoom it in. Let's
Fashionable batteries. But what batteries are they using as a base?
Well, they're double A's, but they got nice.
So there's
Don't
two
tell
in
me
the
just
package
double
that are
A's.
black, and there's two that are red.
Yeah.
Are they
do
energizers?
those
Are they
colors
door
go
cells?
better?
What are
No,
they?
those are super heavy duty. So those are carbon batteries.
These are not even alkaline. Yeah, these suck is what these are. Actually, I think they all have the same pattern because I noticed that the ones on the right are red and then green. The ones on the left are green and then black. And if you look around the top rim, you can see there is a little bit of black towards the back of the red ones. So they just have different patterns that go around. I guess you rotate them for which color you would like to display,
right?
Based on how they're.
Of course, most devices have a battery case that you don't see the batteries.
Yeah, but when you change the batteries, you see them.
And you want to be fashionable.
Exactly.
And since they're not alkaline battery, you're going to be changing them frequently.
Exactly. You're going to get to look at them quite a bit because you're going to be changing those quite a bit right there. So, you're going to want to be fashionable. This reminds me, actually, remember a while ago, two unrelated stories that have two unrelated non-stories that have kind of merged together recently. So a while ago, I was not keeping track of my weight because the battery died in my bathroom scale. And so finally I broke down, went out and looked for CR 2032 button cell batteries. And I found them at the local Best Buy, but they only had them in packs of 6. The scale takes 1, which is like, I think I bought a pack of these before and I used one and I lost the rest. It's like by the time I need another one of these batteries, the pack is going to be
Where the hell are they? See, Johnny, here's the answer. Get a little box or a drawer that's you use strictly to store your spare batteries.
Well, I've done it a few times and I have a few.
Your extra double
Right.
A's, your triple A's, your 9 volts.
But I'm probably going to move at least once or twice before I need another. This scale, I bought it when I lived in Maine before I moved to California.
Of course.
This is the first time I had to change the battery in it.
Put a GPS pack on it. You'll find them.
Yeah.
They'll probably be expired by the time I need them again. But anyways, so the other thing is that every time I turned on the mixer,
So you bought it. So you bought the 6-pack.
right, and I changed the battery, and I knew
You didn't want to go to CVS or Rite Aid or equivalent.
No, it wasn't.
And buy one,
I figured
even though the one will be overpriced.
right. So I just bought the 6-pack,
Yeah.
and I changed
They'll
the
last
battery.
forever, even though you'll never get to them before they run out.
And now I know how much I weigh. And that was the first non-story. Now, the second non-story was that every week when I turned on my board, it was not remembering all the settings that were stored in it. And I basically had to reset up all the settings on my board for every show because the battery had gone dead inside of it. And so finally this past week, I broke out the screwdriver, said, I'm opening up this board and finding out what the hell type of battery this thing takes and figure out what it's going to cost me. And I open it up, and there is a button cell battery. I take it out, CR 2032. The mixing board. Yes.
Wow, you scored big time.
Score. So I got to use battery number 2.
Now you
is
should go around the house
awesome.
and see what else uses them.
No, I don't have
Well,
anything
what
else.
really gets me is you look at the rack in a store.
You don't know that.
Of the button batteries, and why do they make like 50 freaking batteries?
Yeah, and some of them are the same size. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
and some of them are the same voltage and similar sizes. That it's like, that they could have just made one of these and everything used that one instead of this one's a little different. That one's
Of
a little
course,
different.
then you've got the different manufacturers, Eveready and Rayovac and whatever. They'll have the exact same battery with a completely different part number.
Yeah, so then you got to use like a
The
cross
CR,
reference.
the CR series, that 2532s and the 2050s or whatever they are, they tend to be fairly consistent in their nomenclature. But the smaller ones, you know, the MR65 or whatever it is, MS76, every manufacturer has a different number.
Well, that's why
proprietary.
That's why it's a
You
good
need
thing we got the
a
internet
good
now.
cross-reference.
That's why we
And
got the internet.
The internet. That's right. That's right, man. I've Googled battery numbers before.
We have that for battery cross reference, cat pictures, and porn.
Not necessarily in that order.
Not necessarily in that order. So here's our next thing. This is a gun holder for your iPhone. It's like an iPhone holder that has like a handle and a trigger, so that you could like pull out your phone and aim it at someone like you're going to shoot them using your phone. Which
You want to get the black one so that you're pulled over by a cop.
yeah.
He'll shoot you in one shot.
Yeah. The caption for this one is, if you buy this, you deserve to have the police shoot you.
And the gun nuts will pick it up like crazy.
Yeah, Venison, I wouldn't recommend carrying one of these. It's just...
Yeah, you need to re-watch Chris Rock's little thing about dealing with the police.
Right. But
yeah, I have.
you know,
I mean, you watch it again because it has some really good tips that, you know, anybody can take as useful and enjoy.
Fuck up. You know. But anyways, this reminds me.
They'll still shoot you anyway.
This
true, but you want to minimize it.
Well, this reminds me of another story where there was this guy that worked. I used to work at a garbage company, Raritan Valley Disposal. And,
I thought you worked for a whole bunch of different garbage companies.
Well,
Never mind.
I'm not sure what exactly you go for there, but no, Raritan Valley Disposal.
Yeah.
And there was a story that I heard that this happened like sometime before I worked there, where there was this guy that I guess he was working out in the yard, and you know, trucks, dumpsters come back to the yard, and every now and then people, you know, hey, someone's moving. There's some good stuff in this box. Let's, you know, see what we can pull out of here and bring home. You know, sometimes you find working TVs, stereo equipment, and well, anyways, somehow this guy ended up with a little plastic toy gun.
So this is kind of like dumpster diving after it's been dumped.
Yeah, dumpster dive.
Yeah.
Well, or you know, the containers come back, they're not dumped yet. So yeah, this is straight up dumpster diving.
Yeah, the good old days.
And so this guy somehow ended up finding in a dumpster this little toy gun, which, you know, he was just kind of trolling it around, fiddling with it, you know, just kind of not even thinking much about it. And it was, you know, a toy plastic gun. He's just kind of, you know, twirling around, carrying around, joking around with it. And they also used to send this guy out to do the deposit at the bank on his lunch break. So he drives to the bank, goes to the drive up to, you know, kind of drop off the deposit in the tube. And he's waiting online there for a while. And, you know, somehow the gun works. The toy gun works its way from his pocket into his hand. He's kind of twirling it around his fingers while waiting in the car there online to go to the drive up to drive up the deposit. And next thing he knows, a bunch of cop cars pull up behind him with lights and sirens going. You know, put your hands up.
So here's the guy that is the perfect guy for this product.
Yeah. I think I think the police's reaction to that was something like, "Are you fucking stupid? You know, what the hell were you thinking?" And he's like, "Well, it was just a toy gun." Which, you know, odd choice if you're going to hold up to bank to try to do it over the drive-up window and go put the cash in the tube.
Well, my favorite story is the person that comes up to the drive-up window with the intention of robbing the bank. Okay.
Right.
So they give him some money and all this kind of stuff. The person drives off, and then they go to this guy's house because they use the family station wagon. It's like, you know.
The thing that sticks out to me in that story is that they sent money out through the tube. Don't they have bulletproof glass on those things?
Yeah, really.
I don't actually. Maybe they didn't give him money. I don't know. It was just an enhancement to the story.
Or they could have given him the dye pack.
And for instance,
What I
if
find
they're
funny-
using a tube, it's going to be, like the next lane over or something like that, away from the window. Why did they give them the money?
I don't know if they really did or not, but that's funny.
Okay.
But the other thing is that, to me, also another thing funny is that you go to Juneau, Alaska, and you hear about how someone went to go rob a bank. You get in the car, and where are you going to go? Because cars are completely landlocked in Juneau, Alaska. You might as well be on an island. It just so happens that you're not. The roads don't go out of town. They go about 5 miles in one direction, then 5 miles in another direction, and then you end.
You start driving through the wilderness. I don't know.
One end is the glacier. Hey, maybe you could get on a glacier and hope that your car falls into a crevice.
Yeah, there you go. That sounds like a solid plan. Have
you seen the movie Falling Down, by the way?
No, I've not seen that one.
Oh, that is an excellent movie. Robert Duvall and Michael Douglas.
Okay, well,
excellent movie. I highly recommend it.
I'll make a
put it on the list.
Venison, you were saying?
Oh yeah, I just want to bring up an incident of dumpster diving, because we had a hilarious episode of that. Ewing County Technical Institute, threw a bunch of stuff in their dumpster, and a ham radio friend of ours found it. And like how ants occur. One ant finds it, and the next thing you know, the whole nest is out there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we descended upon that thing, but they threw out all kinds of electronic equipment, unbelievable amounts of it. I mean, all the way from TV cameras, computers. I mean, you name it, it was in there. It was like, oh, joy! And they called the cops on us. Cops came around. They said,
for dumpster diving.
For dumpster diving.
Wow. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
They didn't want anybody to take their shit. But the cops got there and said, what are you guys doing? Have you seen all of this stuff in here? The cops looked in there like, whoa. We started having a conversation with them. And we were them all laughing and joking around like that. And they called the cops again. They called the cops on the cops.
Oh,
I mean, hey, dude, you threw it away. Who's the idiot?
That's how you get a situation like you're under arrest. No, you're under arrest. As the cops get in a standoff fighting over which one of them's arresting which.
I was watching a review of a product recently, and the guy mentioned, oh, by the way, this is my dumpster dive PC. And what do you mean? Yeah, he went to this dumpster, he saw this awesome computer in it, so he pulled it out. And he went to check it all out, and everything about it was awesome. It was a high-end gamer's PC with a fantastic video card, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Only thing is that it didn't come up. The screen didn't come on. So he looked at it again. He pulled the video card out, stuck it in the second video slot, and then it booted right up and it was fine.
Nice.
So the first slot had crapped out. Okay, big deal. You try? Aren't most gamers fairly savvy about computers?
To try that? Yeah. No,
you would think
in the early days, I met a guy that was a big time gamer, and this is back in the days of 486 key PCs.
Okay.
He would buy 2 PCs at the exact same time. That was how he would do it. 2 identical PCs that he could upgrade them, et cetera, et cetera. So if one crapped out, he just copy the image to the next one, I guess.
Yeah. Well, going to our next item on the list here, I suppose this would be useful for teachers at schools, or teaching about counting money or making change. This is a bag of 100 plastic pennies, and the price tag on this is $3.49 for 100 plastic pennies?
Well, if they bagged copper pennies, or they're mostly zinc,
Yeah.
it would probably cost about $3 to $7.
Yeah, or you could just, go to the
Take them out of
bank.
circulation. Yeah,
You
that's
could
right.
just
it'd be
go to the
cheaper.
teller line, hand them $1, get 2 rolls of pennies.
Yeah.
and there you go. I suppose the issue here is that if you hand out real pennies to students to play with, they're more likely to steal them than the plastic pennies. So because the pennies are worth more than plastic pennies. No, wait, that doesn't work.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly.
The point is it costs $3.49 for 100 fake pennies, as opposed to, I don't know.
What students would be using these?
I don't know, like first grade, second grade, math, making change. You used, fake coins. That's the type of thing I'm thinking these would be used for.
We didn't do that.
You never did that?
No, we had pictures.
Okay, well, yeah, I think we actually did that, where you could cut out paper coins from the worksheet. That was, so that might be the
You
better
guys
way to
can
go.
remember any of that stuff?
Well, this is for people that go to schools that have a budget to buy $3.49 worth of.
I remember going to the principal's office for saying ship.
Yeah.
In kindergarten.
I
remember a lot of stuff.
Oh, here we go. We found Nick's Christmas gift this year. We got the Pet Petter. It's this little, kind of paddle thing that's attached to an arm that sits on the floor there, and it moves it up and down so your pet can go stand under it, and it pets your pet.
I've seen.
It's rechargeable for.
I think the cats made that the person to invent that. It's like, you know what? I'm sick of your grubby hands petting me. Let's get one of these things.
It pets cats. It pets dogs. It's got 4 speeds, 4 hair lengths. You never touch your pet.
Wow, that is awesome.
What do you
Is the arm self-adjustable for when the cat raises his butt?
I don't know. That's
That's important.
That is important. That is, I think it's it might have some intelligence there to sense how far down to come and not.
That's not going to be more cool than the cat that rides on a Roomba.
No.
Have you seen those videos? I mean, those are cool.
Yeah, not quite as cool as that, but this still is.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think Nick's reaction would be if he unwraps this?
Oh, I think he would have a chuckle. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right, we still got some more great gift
And I
ideas.
think you'd read it as stupid.
Can you also use it yourself for your own purposes? Maybe put it in the shape of a grip.
No, venison. No.
But the
No.
venison, I'm sure it very easily adapts to a paddling machine if you need to knock those dirty thoughts out of your head there. Anyways, next device here, the Twitter Peak mobile tweeting device. It's not a phone, just a device for tweeting out bullshit. So if you need a handheld Twitter device that's all it does, this might be the great gift idea for you. Which
now, do you connect to your Wi-Fi or what? Does it say?
It doesn't say on this screen capture. It looks like it's available on Amazon, so we maybe could.
Maybe that's what Donald Trump uses.
That could be. Let's.
It connects to Twitter, and then you can do your thing on Twitter with it. That would be a very popular device.
You can actually get it for $35, but the thing is how much does a phone cost? Most people have phones. I mean, if you're spending $35 for this, but then again, I guess this doesn't come with a mobile plan, so it's just a one-time purchase. But you got to use Wi-Fi with it.
But it is Wi-Fi, right? It's Wi-Fi.
No, maybe you're using your phone for movies and other stuff. but you want to use Twitter, you have to.
You know what? It says right on here, service plan no longer supported by manufacturer. So this did have the option for a service plan, but it doesn't anymore. Let's see if I can. I've not seen whether or not it uses Wi-Fi. I'm reading the specs on this now. It doesn't say if it uses Wi-Fi or not. Let's read some reviews. Amazon needs to pull all these devices from its marketplace. Peak is done. My lifetime service was shut down on January 30th. So some people actually paid for lifetime service, which was for the life of the service, not the life of the
That's right.
customer.
Right.
You see the mass email from the head of the company. I guess he didn't know how to complete the fourth paragraph. This is the first I heard they were shutting down. I love Peak for what it was, and now it's gone. Dear Peak user, since we launched Peak in September 2008, we received amazing accolades for the product and the support of many, many Peaksters like you. Since 2010, the business has been taking off in a direction that moved us away from these devices, putting our cloud platform and software to work, bringing smart apps to simple devices made by other mobile phone makers. We have been winding down the U.S. service since late 2010, and at the end of 2011, this email address was connected to one of a few Peak devices still operating in the U.S. At the end of January, this last batch of devices was decommissioned. I'm sorry to report this. As our Peak Cloud powers increasing millions of devices around the world, we hope you find yourself using our apps for services like mail chat, picture sharing, and cloud backup. Indeed, we were just honored by the Global Mobile Industry Association with the prestigious Best Technology Award nomination. You can read more about this and where we are heading at. So,
and they pulled the plug on them.
Yeah, they pulled the plug
I think
on
they're
them.
bastards.
I'm not saying
unless
anything...
did they offer any kind of replacement?
No,
that does the same function.
No, well, they make apps for other devices. Anyways,
right.
Basically, everyone is saying that.
I'm guessing you could get a Amazon Fire. Whatever. They're about what, $35?
Mm-hmm.
And get a Twitter app. Done.
Right, and that's
probably
probably
for free.
That's probably why this device failed. Is because you really, I mean, there are people that liked it, but all it is a mobile plan device specifically for Twitter.
Yeah.
And there were people that liked it, but obviously, they had to find another.
I mean, even at that time, you could. Well, I mean, now you can get tablets for, like the Fire,
right,
for pretty cheap.
Yeah, basically, it comes down to there weren't enough stupid fucks out there.
So right now you.
Well, yeah, I mean that's it. I mean, people went for the cheap, not realizing, hey, I mean, people bought that. I think the Nook is dead, right? The alternate player for the Kindle.
That's the thing. There's a lot of things you buy that rely on a manufacturer's server being powered on for it to connect to. And once they turn that off, you got yourself worthless. Yeah, you're done. You can't do anything with it anymore.
I think the Nook will still work because it doesn't rely on Nook being there, but you have to find some other service to work it. So anyway, moving on.
Wait, do you have any messages?
No messages have been coming in.
Yeah.
Oh wait
Weird.
a minute. No, there is no. The last message was that steel thing that Woodshop told us about. Our next,
and I put a message on our chat on the YouTube chat. Type in chat to talk to us.
Yeah, so our viewer out there can do that. Next
If there is
product
another
here.
one.
Next product here. Shreddies flatulence filtering underwear.
Does it use a carbon filter device?
I'm thinking so. I'm thinking it's airtight underwear with a carbon filter. So just go ahead and let rip, and that'll just be our little secret.
I hope it dampens the sound.
That could.
Or is it only works best with SPDs?
It probably works best with SPDs, but it's.
I'd like to see if it would work with my featured fried oyster farts.
Well,
those sound like
that says that.
They
good.
were deadly.
Next we got a beauty smile trainer, which is this big stretchy plastic thing you shove in your mouth to stretch out your smile.
Is that what you use an orange peel, an orange slice for?
I would think this would be, for those that are allergic to oranges. But yeah, same premise, same idea.
No way. I seen.
You could even shape the orange slice into like a smile.
Yeah, you totally would do that. Right. And then everyone would do that. You get the orange slice.
I guess that could work. I guess I could see that with the allergies to oranges. I actually saw a Daniel Tiger episode where he was allergic to pineapples.
Oh. Next one here is the TV hat personal theater. It's this hat that's got this thing hanging down from the visor that I guess has a small TV screen in there. So yeah, Brian, you get some stupid hats. This might be perfect for you. This way you can, watch TV while you walk around.
Is that available on Amazon?
Well, there's an 800 number here for it, as seen on tvhat.com.
Is that a current product, I wonder?
Let's find out. It looks like the URL is no longer going for that. Yeah, it's no longer available, I don't think. I'm thinking someone walked out into traffic and they didn't survive the lawsuit. So unfortunately, that gift is, but that's okay because we've got more ideas, like the ice cream, the electronic ice cream cone.
Electronic ice cream
cone.
cone.
A motorized ice cream cone. It's a plastic ice cream cone that's got a little rotating platter in there. So you throw a few scoops of ice cream into it, and you push the button, and it rotates a scoop of ice cream. So all you got to do is
click it even. You don't have to manually turn the ice cream cone.
Right. You just stick your tongue out, and it turns.
See, now I think that's
you.
cool. That's cool.
That's cool, but
I think I would get that.
I see a problem with that.
Okay.
Okay, as you well know, ice cream melts. What if it started dripping down inside the cone?
Details, minor details.
But I mean, that happens anyway.
I'm sure they have some good seals to keep the ice cream out of the electronics.
Though,
not only that, people
you actually
like
put the actual.
The
you don't put the cone in there, do you? They eat.
Well, no, I don't think you put a cone in there. Which
you just throw the ice cream in directly.
You just throw the ice cream directly. But I'm thinking, I mean, moving parts are there, so there's got to be some.
It's the coolest thing to eat.
There's got to be some seams. Yeah, I like eating a cone, and I don't have a problem turning a cone. But all right, this would be a good gift for you.
How lazy can you get?
If someone needs a gift idea for Brian, there you go. Is a motorized ice cream cone. He'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I do see the problem, though, is that when you've licked it down, level with the top of the cup, then you've got to get out the spoon. Maybe you still want that to be rotating.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'd have to try it. And you kind of go, yeah, this really is stupid.
All right, this next one.
What if they make it like like those waffle cones, like it pointed down at the bottom? The spoon can't get down that far.
Well, no, this one's more like the cake cone. It's got a flat bottom, but the ice cream doesn't go all the way to the bottom because much of it is held with the motor. It's just I think there's just a platform in the compartment, so it doesn't even dip down that far into there.
Probably not. Yeah, the narrow part was probably where the motor is.
Yeah.
The batteries and where you hold the thing, and then it's basically just a cup on top of that.
Right.
Okay, as long as it's not longer, not lower than the length of your tongue.
So this last one is a video, and I'm not sure what this is, but it's called the Hawaii Chair infomercial, and the caption for this one is, "Somebody probably got rich off of this." Let that sink in for a second. So I haven't previewed this. I have no idea what we're in for here. But I need sound.
The Hawaii Chair. Tamara, the Hawaii Chair wasn't just
designed just for home. I mean, after all, for some of us, at least 40 hours of our week is spent sitting behind a desk at the office. So to see what office workers think of the Hawaii chair, we sent Aaron Lee to work.
Hi, I'm Erin Lee with Perfect USA, and today we've got the Hawaii chair to a very busy.
Are you seeing this, Brian?
Let's get some first
Yeah.
reactions.
Although the picture's a little bit small.
Great on my abs.
I can really,
All right, let's see if I can get this open a little bigger. Because if I go full screen, it's not going to work.
really feel this working.
Hawaii chair while answering phones, using the computer, balancing books, or filing paperwork. You can hardly call this work. With the Hawaii chair, it takes the work out of your workday.
If you can sit, you can get fit. The Hawaii chair.
Oh, so the seat of the
Thanks,
thing kind
Aaron
of
Lee.
jiggles around.
Yes. The Hawaii, basically you got this like lopsided rotating seat is what you got. So you
So
kind
you're
of like
doing a little hula thing while you're sitting down.
right. You're doing a hula while sitting because the thing's rotating, making you do the hula, and you're supposed to work while. I mean, you see these people twisting around while working, and it looks ridiculous. I mean, these people are just
this is
moving all
amazing.
over.
That feels great on my abs.
I can really feel this working.
No,
Hawaii
it's
chair
not.
while answering phones, using the computer, balancing books, or filing paperwork. You can hardly call this work. With the Hawaii chair, it takes the work out of your workday.
No, it
If
doesn't.
you can sit, you can get fit. The Hawaii chair.
Thanks, Aaron
The whole
Lee.
thing is great.
All right, let's see.
Hey,
If there's...
even the name of the outfit that does the infomercial is good. TV Heaven or whatever the hell it is.
TV. HawaiiChair.com is let's see. Hawaii chair, massage computer chair, ergonomic chairs for office. All right, let's try Hawaii chair. This is just redirecting me to related links. I think they went out of business. I'm not finding Hawaii. I'm not finding a place I can buy a Hawaii chair right now. I might have to go to eBay for one of these. All right, let's see if we can find a Hawaii chair on eBay and how much it would take to get one of these in here. Because I'm thinking a good challenge would be to do a show the entire 2 hours
Yeah.
on a Hawaii chair. I think
You think Dune would have you on his show with it?
Perhaps, but I'm not finding an actual Hawaii chair on eBay. I'm finding all kinds of other chairs, but not in Hawaiian shirts. But no, I cannot find a Hawaii chair anywhere. This is sad.
Question.
Yes.
What part of YouTube are you on?
The part with videos.
I tried that. All I see are ADHD channels.
You can't find a Hawaii chair? Well, here I'm gonna tweet the link for those who would like to actually see this that are not watching the stream. So there we go. We'll just go ahead and tweet that link for the Hawaii chair infomercial. And now let me go to Google and see if I can find an actual Hawaii chair and what it would cost me to find one. Because I'm thinking, someone's got to have one of these that they don't want anymore. And would take a $5 for it. Let's see. Ellen with her Hawaii chair. No. Original Hawaii hula chair. IB3 Healths.
What the fuck? I'm not finding your channel.
You're not finding the Hawaii chair?
No, I go to the whole Sport Radio. I look for your podcast, and you're nowhere to be found.
No, I'm using a YouTube channel called Insert Title Here. It's called
Insert title here.
Almost goofed it there.
I completely goofed it. All right, this place is selling the original hula chair, so I'm thinking other things have manufactured that. This one's only $245. No, we're not. Circular hula chair from Amazon. Let's see what that is. Okay,
Whoa.
This is another rotating chair, but it's currently unavailable. No, it is not easy to find a good Hawaii chair. That's too bad. It's right. Oh, here's a page with Hawaii chair review. Let's take a look. The Hawaii chair, also called the hula chair, is advertised as an easy exercise option for those who don't like to work out. It looks like a desk chair, but the seat rotates in a circular motion, causing the chair to simulate the movements of a hula dancer. This is supposed to strengthen the user's abdominal muscles, slimming the waist and increasing blood circulation. Pros: may improve blood circulation. Cons: expensive, not realistic for office use, does not live up to fitness claims. Someone who uses finds the chair motion to be so jarring that she is unable to type or hold a phone and talk. Dollstorm also interviews fitness expert Jay Blodnick, who says the chair won't tone ab muscles, but may improve the circulation to someone who has limited mobility. So basically, this chair is useless for anything more than a good laugh.
I'm trying to find it.
See, they just need to excuse me. They just need to have slower settings for the people that just can't handle it.
Yeah, that's what they need. To do.
Don't start with selection 9.
No, you gotta start low.
And if you're good at it, turn it up to 11, right?
Hells yeah. So hopefully we had a few good gift ideas for you there.
Was that the last one?
You realize how many insert title years there are?
I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
I always tweet a link to the show at the start of the show on my Twitter account. If you follow me on Twitter, you'd have all you need to know.
Yeah, but I don't have Twitter up.
Sounds like a personal problem right there. But anyways, thank you everyone for listening to another fun-filled edition. And we do try to be educational here. I think we learned a lot about gift giving. And and Brian, you're going to play some more Portal this week. I have had about all I could take of kicks. So what should I do this week?
So kicks kicked your butt.
Yeah.
Of course, this is Thanksgiving week, so there might be some difficulties.
Well, the
I got all kinds of crap going on this week, so got friends coming over for Thanksgiving.
Oh, you got crap.
Going to this Harvest Festival in San Jose.
Oh, there's no excuse for not playing Portal. You got to get your Portal in,
Yeah,
it's
Portal. I might have Sunday to do it.
Okay, all right. Well, play
weekend. We'll see. I hope. I mean, I'm not making excuses. I'm hoping to do it because I thought, I think that's the game I like.
Yeah, I think you'll like it more as you get more into it.
You want to know what kind of crap I got going on here?
Oh, and by the way, incidentally, the reviews the reviews on Amazon were really good. They liked that game, especially that orange box that has the multiple games. And when I mentioned the thing on to the guys at GameStop, they seem to know all about it. It says, yeah, that's a cool game.
Oh yeah, Portal is pretty big deal. Yeah. I'm surprised you haven't heard all the references or things like that. But yeah, Portal's a big deal. That's why I was like, you got to play this game.
Right. Now, have you looked at Portal 2 yet?
Yeah.
I've played Portal 2 several times. It is awesome. It is even better than Portal.
Oh, so you were leading because that was directly available for the Xbox One.
Right. Well, yeah, but Portal.
But
comes
it's okay.
First.
I mean, there's these other games on this thing, so that's fine.
Right.
That's cool.
Portal comes first, and then Portal 2, because Portal 2 takes place after Portal. So to get a big part of this game is the story that goes with this game.
The story and the build-up. Yeah.
Right. So you do need to. So I mean, Portal 2's awesome, much better than Portal, but Portal is really awesome too. So we got to do this right.
Awesome and awesomer.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. All
right. So, Venice.
Now that, wait a minute. Yeah. You want to talk about crap going through? I've been going through a hell of a lot of crap since Thursday. I can't believe this shit. Okay. First of all, Thursday, I sit and take a piece of paper down to get my, Medicaid benefits, reapproved. Then I find out that I have to have, a physical in order to get this done. Wait, what? I didn't have to do that last time. I got to do it now. So I can't get down there.
Is that so they can do a drug test on you?
Yeah, right.
No, I'm serious. Is that because I've heard that they're doing that, but I didn't know that they were basically disguising it as a physical.
No, as far as I know, it's just a physical.
Okay.
Just
All right.
know what's going on.
All right.
All right.
No,
All right. That,
if it turns out to be a drug test, let me know, because I'm kind of curious about it, because I see that shit. It sucks.
That's only one thing. Now the second thing that comes up, it's even better. Yesterday, I find out that my cousin died. Oh, great! Now I find this out yesterday. The funeral's today. I've got no clothes to wear, no way to get down there, or anything else. I got told this a day before it happens. My aunt, who lives only 5 blocks away, never told me a thing. And we were supposed to be close family. This is the aunt that was giving me all kinds of trouble. So
that sucks.
So fuck her. All right, and then on top of that, today, thanks to the great windstorm we had out here, I heard a sound. I didn't really realize what it was. I didn't pay attention to it. Then I go out, to the kitchen, go make coffee, and I noticed something a little weird. Oh no, I'm looking at the root end of the tree that fell down in the backyard from the wind. Half of it is in the neighbor's backyard.
Was there any damage to the actual property, or just that the tree is down?
The tree is down, in their backyard.
Okay. But you're gonna have to cut that up, or have someone come up to remove it, right?
I can't do that. I have no money. They charge us about $1,000 for that shit.
Well, I understand that. Yeah.
Now,
do you have a chainsaw or anything?
Wait. Here's the fucked up part of this.
Yeah, okay.
Something like that happened before, where a tree fell down, in the neighbor's house. And they went and told us that if a tree falls down, on a neighbor's property, they have to take care of the part that's on their property. I don't.
Okay.
So if anything, they'll have to cut the end of the tree, to my property line, and I'll just leave the rest of it where it is.
Okay.
This is the kind of shit that I gotta deal with. I'm about ready to give up.
So did he get to the funeral?
No, couldn't. I got no ride. I got no clothes.
So your aunt wouldn't pick you up.
Oh, yeah, Don's. I wasn't going to pick him up. Well, for one thing, she's 92 years old. I don't even know if she's driving. And I didn't get a chance to call my cousin because, yesterday, because like an idiot, I forgot.
Well, my condolences.
Because of various other problems.
Yeah, that's a shame, buddy.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
In a way it sucks, or in a way it doesn't suck, because he wasn't really all that great to begin with. Kind of insulting me, stuff like that, and really pissed me off. Because of something else that happened here in this household, which I really did not like.
Well, I mean, to me, that's a sign that life is too short. People have to learn how to resolve their differences. Get over it. And hey, your cousins, man.
On my AIM messenger, and I would message him a few times, and he wouldn't even answer me.
Well, yeah, that sucks. I mean, heck, you know what? A funny thing, well, not funny at all. Odd coincidence, I guess. I just had a cousin die this past week too.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That was born the day after me, exactly my age.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a
Yeah.
diet and alcohol issues for years that
Yeah.
caught up with her.
Yeah, that's too
This
bad.
one got stomach cancer, which they didn't even find us about a month ago. They didn't even know he had it.
But
Yeah.
anyways, we are wrapping up the show here. I'm gonna jump out to the grocery store, pick up some things because I'm making a safety pie in case this cheesecake is a mess when we slice it.
And I'm going to finish the rest of this vodka.
So, what have you learned today, Venison?
I've learned that you have rather, what's the word I'm looking for? Obtrusive? No, not obtrusive. Different ideas, for 30 pounds of steel. And I'm really wondering what they are, that you want to give this to a gift to somebody.
Brian, what have you learned?
Well, I didn't learn it in the show, but I tell another story. I can't remember if it was Thursday or Friday, but I found out we must be living in a third world country because we had 2 power outages the other morning. Was there Thursday? I forgot. And the power was out long enough that my UPS battery would be drained and then would shut down. So twice in the morning.
Twice.
Oh, and then here's the funny part. So the power comes back on after the first outage, and it's on for a little while, and then it goes off again. And then the power company calls and says, "Hey, your power's back on." No, it wasn't.
No. That's great.
And then, of course,
That's right.
there were multiple calls, and it goes, "Oh, do you want to take a survey after this call?" And it's all automated. So, no, I don't want to take your fucking survey either.
We
That's
all
interesting. They'll call you anyway.
we
to tell
all
you the power's
know
on.
you suck. We don't need a survey to confirm that. But and I've learned this week that I do not like the arcade version of Kicks at all. I sucked at it. The thing was way too hard. There's nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, they only give you 3 lives, and the thing is going around like a fly on crack. So there's nowhere to build up to because it starts off way too hard right off the bat. They need to start easy.
Okay. Well, maybe we need to find another version.
Well, no, I do like the Commodore 64 version. I played that a lot in the past, but I've already done that. So I figured, we'd do the original arcade this week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could find another version to try later on.
Well, yeah, maybe we can revisit that. But anyways,
Yeah,
so
because I think it's a cool game.
This coming week, eat lots of turkey. Because make sure everyone out there have a happy Thanksgiving. And
Yeah, I hope so.
and you all want to make sure that
You got the turkey?
you got to have the turkey.
I ain't got no turkey.
You got the turkey?
No.
How
You
about
don't
that other device?
You got the turkey?
And I'm waiting for the other trees to fall in the backyard. Well, this split and half rotted all the way through.
All right, everyone, have a happy Thanksgiving. Oh, I'm going to try to put together some kind of a Christmas special if I can actually get anyone to participate. So stay tuned for announcements about that or not.
How am I going to get past this?
Oh, by the way, when we took that break, you had that promo for this Chaos program?
The Chaotic Cast?
The
Yeah,
Chaotic Cast? That sounds good, actually.
Yeah, that's an old show. They were
So it's a
good.
plug. I haven't heard it yet, but...
Well, no, that's... I there's not enough shows, so I've been playing promos for old shows that are no longer on, is what I've been doing.
Are those available
When's
on
the shocker coming back?
I don't know. I got to ask them. Chaotic. You know what? I talked to one of the guys that did the Chaotic Cast on Twitter. I'll see if I can get some recordings of his show for you because it was funny.
No, because the promo sounded great.
Oh yeah, they were a great show. But Rad. It was Rad and Neff, who were a blind couple living together, and they were friends of Damon. And
so this is literally the blind leading the blind.
yeah, and it was they were funny, and but then Rad had a change of jobs that demanded more of his schedule, and that kind of put an end to the Chaotic Cast, which was sad because that's why I played that pro, because it was a good promo, and I missed the show.
Yeah, it was good.
I play a promo for a show that's not on anymore.
It's a shout out to shows of past times. I like to do that every now and then. But my apologies to those looking to tune in. But yeah,
maybe I should start doing that.
Well,
maybe you need to add a little buffers around it. Says, oh yeah, this was a great show, played between this date and this date, or something or other.
Well, the thing is, I wanted to set up a break that was long enough that and I was out of like promos for shows that we have on, so I just threw on some filler. Anyways, got to go to the grocery store. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and good night.
All right, good night.
Good night.